Hello, my lovely audience. Welcome to another video. Welcome to the third part of What If Deku could summon, upper moons. Quick little water break. So then, let's, don't really have that much to say aside from, good grief, I have so many what ifs I'm, working on, and, more ideas won't just stop popping up. It's like the polar opposite of writer's block, where you just want to focus on certain things, but you can't, because you just got this idea for a nice manipulation power or something like that. And then you know that a lot of them probably won't ever see the light of day as actual what-ifs because you don't have the time to make them, and they will inevitably be replaced and put into the back of your mind. That's happened a lot. So then, yeah. And anyway, let's get on with the what-if. So, Aki and Momo are just kind of looking at each other. Aki's kind of glaring at her, as he would just turn his head and kind of walk to his seat. Just kind of, I don't know you. Momo kind of feels a bit hurt by that, but doesn't really want to make a scene. Susanoo, yes, I remembered her name, and Mina are they look at each other, and then it's just they are magnetized towards the two of them, instant besties type beat. As soon as they see each other, Susanoo goes, favorite rock band? I don't know. Good grief. Susanoo goes, favorite rock band? Mina goes, the Crystal Gems or some shit like that. Because I don't know what the future holds. As, the two of them would just start asking each other questions, each getting the exact thing that the other person was hoping for. And, by the end of it, the two of them are hugging. Instant besties. As Kirishima's looking at this, why do I feel a sudden sense of fear? Yeah. So, that happens. As well, Aki and Susanoo would feel a shiver go up both of their spines, and the words Upper Moon 6 would just play in their brains. As, the two of them would begin sweating, as an individual would open the door, walk through the open door, and, this individual has a sword, which is weird. But what's even weirder is the fact that they have the words Upper Moon 6 in their eyes. Susanoo would kind of look at them I thought Upper Moon 6 was a chick. Did Upper Moon 6 get replaced, or what's happening? As the individual would just kind of wave and introduce themselves and say, hi, I'm Kaigaku. As, we cut to Zenitsu's reincarnation, just a random guy who looks like Zenitsu. He would just, suddenly shiver. Yeah. In case you're wondering, this is actually something that happens. Yeah. Fucking Kaigaku. Cut to, when Izuku's done with, Aki and Susanoo, their first meeting, when he tells them about their job. He would reach out and a sword would kind of just blow out of his palm, slowly come out. The sword is blue with a lightning symbol, with a lightning pattern. Sword would fall to the ground and stab itself into it, as a hand would grow out of the sword, then an arm, then a body, then a set of legs. Think Kaigaku's getup, just think what he was wearing. Just look up, just think what he was wearing back in Zenitsu's flashback. You know, that same thing he always wears. So, yeah, and a head would then grow. As, well, Izuku would say, you should already be informed about what I want, because, well, you know, I just kind of, like, remade you, so you should contain a few memories, a few key ones, like, you know, math, English, so on and so forth. Do you want to know why I want you? Now, here's my request from you, Kaigaku. Since I really couldn't figure out what to do with you, I got an idea. You ought to make sure everything goes smoothly at UA. I've had too many demons turn on me, and, well, that ultimately led to, well, Muzan's downfall. Sometimes gets a bit confusing, you know? These memories that don't belong to you, but yes. Muzan's ultimate downfall was because, well, a set of, well, demons turned on him, which gave them centuries to prepare for his death. So if, you know, the two demons I sent to UA were to go rogue, you know what to do. Izuku would just walk past Kaigaku and pat him on the shoulder and whisper in his ear, "You won't disappoint, will you?" Kaigaku would say, kinda sweating, "No, I will not." Izuku would smile and say, "Good," as he would walk inside of his manor. But before he enters the door, he would stop and say, "Oh yeah, about that whole, getting documents thing. Well, you ought to pretend to be an American who was originally born here in Japan, but whose parents moved to America. Okay? It's why I gave you the memories of English. I want you to become as proficient in it as possible to, well, you know, get the whole American aesthetic in. Alright?" Kaigaku would nod, like, "Yes, okay, I shall pretend to be an American." Izuku would just kind of walk inside, you know, but just before he, like, does so, blah, he would say, "Oh, and by the way, I'm going to be, thinking of a good name for you, since Muzan really didn't name you before you died, which is unfortunate, but yes. See ya." He would just kind of walk inside. So, time skip back to end of flashback. So that's essentially what Kaigaku's doing there. As, like, you know, Susanoo and Aki are just sweating. Aki's like shaking in his seat, like, "Sweet fuck," he said. "Sweet fuck, Upper Moon 6. We are so fucked." Anyway, yeah. Kaigaku has, well, essentially reached a point stronger than in canon, obviously. First of all, Kaigaku didn't get that much of a window to get used to his new blood demon art, or, you know, to eat that many people, but now he's eaten quite a few, and he's had 9 months to get used to his blood demon art, meaning he is much stronger than he was when Zenitsu killed him, and he is looking for either Zenitsu's descendants or reincarnation so he can stab the fuck out of them. Yep, he's on a revenge path, even though Zenitsu's already dead, spiting the afterlife. Probably something Muzan himself would do. So he would just kind of sit down with his feet up. Ida would walk up to him like, "That is very disgraceful," as, like, Kaigaku would just kind of forcefully close Ida's mouth, like, "Shut up." Like, Aki and Susanoo are looking at him like, "Are you suicidal? Who in their right mind would try and tell an upper moon what to do? Like, I guess you don't know what an upper moon is, but, like, really? Do you have no sense of danger? Would you tell..." Like, the two of them are just looking at him like that, like, "Are you fucking stupid?" Mina's like, "You know him? We don't know him, like, he's our distant relative." Well, I mean, it technically is the case, but still. He's our distant relative, he fist-fought a bear, don't fuck with him. Like, that would be what Aki says to get Ida to just back the fuck off. You know, they don't want a student dying on the first day. Ida would just kind of look at him like, he fist-fought a bear. Fist-fought is a, well, not exactly what happened, more so, brutally ripped out its heart. Kaigaku would just kind of smile after saying that. Ida would look at him, begin sweating, as he would just kind of slowly walk away, as Kaigaku would continue by saying, "It was like a one-sided beatdown. I even got my master, like, a bear rug for his room when I was done." Ida's not gonna question the master bit. He thinks, like, maybe he works as a maid, or, like, works for someone, like a politician or someone like that, so he doesn't question it. Cut to Izuku, who's just kind of sat on his chair, like, on a chair, with, like, Rui, Shigaraki, and Wonder Wise. Like, there's a bear rug on the ground, as, like, you know, Izuku's busy helping the three of them with, like, math homework. Remember, Rui, despite being over a couple hundred years old, he's still from feudal Japan. You'd be lucky if you could find someone who knows the first two letters of the alphabet in that time, so, yeah, he ain't good at things. So he's helping them figure out, like, what's A and what's C. Teaching them English, like, just kind of tutoring them. There's a bear rug on the ground. And it ain't a small bear, it's like a bear big enough to fill up, like, a good half of the room. It's a biggin. Get back to Kaigaku, who just chuckles, as Ida would just kind of sit down and just kind of, like, shut up, as, like, Aki and Susanoo are sweating profusely whilst, you know, Kaikaku's just kind of sitting there. So, bowl through. You know, Aki, Susanoo, and Kaikaku have umbrellas to prevent the whole burning alive thing. Momo's confused, like, your quirk is that you can make things, but whatever you make doesn't really go on top of your skin, it goes under it, like, what do you mean? You can't go into the sunlight. As Aki's like, I have a skin condition now. Oh. Like what kind? I don't know, me and a homeless man got into a fist fight and, like, we traded blood and suddenly I can't go out in the sun. Oh. Momo would just kind of step a few steps away from Aki, like, oh, stay away from me. Susanoo's just like, she would just stick her tongue out at Momo. Kaikaku's just like, my quirk makes me burn alive. Everyone just decides not to question the three of them because they are strange and silly, and, like, no one really wants to question them at this point because it's like, they probably could kill anyone in the class, but, where am I going with this? I don't know. Aw, cat under the cupboard. So, yeah. Ball throw, blah blah blah. Like, Kirishima has won for all. Yeah, yeet, bitch. Yeah, just, like, place them all in the top 3. Kaikaku obviously ahead, but then it's Susanoo and then, like, Aki. Yeah, but Kaikaku's, like, no, the top 4. You know, they can't really deal with infinity, but, or, like, one for all. Well, Kaikaku kind of tied with, okay, Kaikaku tied with, Kirishima and everything, including the ball throw. The only reason they aren't at the top is because, like, Eurorica got infinity, so yeah. And then it's Susanoo and then Aki, okay? Okay. So time skip, like, to that night. Izuku is walking through the street, like, a farmer's market that's open at night, like this weird Chinatown. He's walking through essentially Chinatown, okay? Okay. He's carrying Wonder Wise because, if I'm being honest, he doesn't trust Wonder Wise not to go, like, climb into a sewer or something. He tried a leash, but Wonder Wise just kind of bit it off. Wonder Wise confuses him greatly. Like, Shigaraki and Rui are walking at his sides. You know, he's not holding Rui's hand because he trusts him the most not to just go walking off. Which is a title that Rui more than happily rubbed in Shigaraki's face. Well, Tomu, yeah. Daki, who is in, like, you know, a hoodie. Just, like, a long-sleeved hoodie, like, jersey-type beat, and, like, long pants. She really likes it because it's comfy. Is just kind of skipping behind them whilst Gyutero's just being Gyutero, just kind of leaning downwards, making sure Daki doesn't, like, commit any felonies. As, like, Daki's jumping from stall to stall, like, Izuku, look at this! Oh, human shish kebabs! They sell human meat shish kebabs! She would just, like, buy a few and start double fisting them. Not like that. Like, she's holding 2 in each hand and she's, like, eating them. Like, oh my goodness, it's so good. I love it here. Zuku's just like, he would just kind of, like, smile, not really sure of what to say. And, like, man, feels like I adopted another set of children. Gyutaro would just kind of, like, grab him, like, wrap his arm around Izuku and nuzzle his head, like, well, I'm older than, well, the both of you. Well, everyone here, so. Izuku would just kind of be like, technically, yes. I should probably be the one who's in charge, but then again, when I was, we died, so. Yeah, just do whatever. Like, Gyutero's just has that kind of personality, like a family dynamic starting to form between the, like, dozen of them. It's a pleasant thing, and Izuku finds it quite nice that, well, he, you know, isn't alone anymore, essentially. So yeah, family dynamic kind of starting. As well, a blonde-haired, spiky hair. an individual with blonde spiky hair, with a individual with red spiky hair, and another individual with pink poofy hair. It's Bakugo and the Baku Squad, essentially, just like the entire Baku Squad's there. They would kind of walk past each other. Izuku would look at Bakugo, Bakugo would look at Izuku. Bakugo would just kind of stop walking. He was originally bragging about his quirk, but he just looks at Izuku and kind of goes pale. Izuku kind of just glares at him. Like, Shigaraki would go up to Wonder Wise, like, do you know what's happening? Ah! Oh, why did I ask you? Rui's just kind of looking at him like, if we were alone, I would fucking murder you, you son of a bitch. Like, Rui's just looking at him with that kind of glare. Daki would just kind of pop up and, like, grab Izuku's back, like, hey, I found, like, a bunch of nice human steaks. What are you looking? Oh my fuck, it's him. She would just kind of lean closer to Izuku, like, is it really him? Because I can skewer him if you want. Leave him. We're in a populated area. Gyutaro would just turn up like, hey, I found this nice human steak stall. What are you guys looking? Oh. Like, the entire, like, Izuku's entire group was just looking at Bakugo and Bakugo's squad. And, like, Kirishima would lean over to Denki like, do you know what's happening, Denki, bro? No clue, Kiri, bro. Like, Jiro is just kind of just looking at Daki like, who the hell is that? She's making me feel things. Like, yeah. And, yeah, like, bi Jiro, why not? Just, like, bisexual Jiro. Don't know why I have to point it out, but, yeah, I think that could be nice. Daki's just kind of like, do I punch him, or do I break his legs? Gyutaro's just kind of thinking, like, do I cut off Daki's arms or Daki's legs so she doesn't do something dumb? Rui's thinking, oh, if only we were alone, that way I could hang you. Shigaraki's thinking, I wonder what we're gonna have for lunch. Wonder Wise is thinking, like, no, 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 no. Anyone remember that meme? Like, da 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 da. Yeah, that meme's just kind of playing in his head. Just kind of like, anyone remember that meme? Yeah, hope you do. Izuku's looking at Bakugo like, oh, I can't wait to see you begging and crying at my knees. Daki's about to step forwards. Gyutaro would grab her by, like, the back of her hoodie, like, nope, no murder allowed. Oni-chan, but why? No murder. We are currently peoples. We are civilians. No murder. No. Bad. You would just kind of flick on the forehead like, bad. Shigaraki's like, who the fuck is that angry Pomeranian? And as Bakugo's like, who the fuck do you mean, angry Pomeranian? Bakugo, if you so much as even touch him, I'm breaking your arm. Bakugo would, like, shut the fuck up. Like, he would just kind of look at Izuku like, first of all, what happened to Kachan? Second of all, who the fuck are you? Bakugo's just kind of like, what? No, Izuku calls me Kachan. And also, like, look, at the most, you would say that I was being mean, but, like, what the fuck? Izuku's just kind of glaring at him. Izuku's eyes would go slit for a moment as he would say, you lost that privilege, bitch. As his eyes would just return to normal. As, well, Izuku would walk forwards like, Oh, come on, everyone. The let's not let the blonde Pomeranian spoil tonight. Human Katsudan on me. Like Docky snaps that weird sound I made. Like, yeah, Docky would just kind of snap out of her little spacing out moment as she would jump up like, "Yay! I like it. I haven't tried Katsudon, but I think it could be nice. Especially human meat. Oh, I hope it's pretty." Like, Gyutaro would just kind of walk by, like, "You fucked up, bud." He would just say that to Bakugo as he would walk with the group. Shigaraki would just kind of, like, pull on Izuku's hand as Zuko would lean down, and Shigaraki would whisper in his ear, "Hey, why aren't me and Wonder Wise demons yet?" Zuko would whisper back, when you're older. Uh, that way you can take more blood." Shigaraki would nod, like, "Oh, okay." Rui would snicker, like, "You'd never be able to match up to me." Brain.exe has stopped. "You'd never be able to match up to me, Dusty man." "You'd never be able to match up to me, Dusty." "Oh, shut up, Eyeless." Eyeless? Like, what kind of name is that? Well, you're a spider, yet you lack the 6 extra eyes. So you're kind of like a blind spider, like the inbred cousins. Rui would look at him like, "You bitch! I can see better than most spiders, Ah, bullshit. Remember the time you walked into a wall?" "It was accidental. I had dust in my eyes." Like, the two of them would just start fighting. Izuku's like, "Can you please stop?" The two of them would just shut up. Good. Daki's like in the background, busy bouncing from stall to stall. She's like spinning on one foot like a ballerina with a bunch of like human meat shish kebabs in her hands. Like stars are floating around her. She's spinning around like, "Is this heaven?" "Nope, it's just Chinatown." "Well, whatever it is, I love it." Okay, so just a quick little piece of information about Rui. He's currently Upper Moon 1. Yeah, Zuko gave him an extra boost in blood. So he's taken, Enmu's spot of Upper Moon 1. Enmu is Upper Moon 2 right now. So, yeah. Just a quick little piece of information. Yeah. So, like, Daki is jumping around in the background. And as, like, Zuko and everyone else is just kind of walking away, Daki's kind of trailing behind them by a few feet as she's just getting as many human meat snacks as possible as, like, Mina would look at them like, but cut back to the Baka squad, like, "Who are those people? How do you know them? And what's the tea?" As, like, Bakugo would go, "Well, Izuku's an old friend who I was a bad person to, and our relationship kind of fell apart." Kirishima's like, "Oh, that's bad. That's shit. But I'm sure he'll be able to forgive you. As long as you put in the necessary effort and work into it. And I'm sure that the two of you will be bros in no time." Thanks, Kirishima. That means a lot. Who are those people with him, though? Like, really? I'm interested. I have no clue, actually. Like, they seem to be close, but I don't know. Kinda didn't get that invested in his social life. So who knows? Could be a bunch of friends, could be like a group of people he's babysitting. Who knows? back to Daki, who's just like, yeah, like Bakugo's having this sentimental moment, and Daki is in the background, like pirouetting with like somehow double the amount of human shish kebabs, just like pirouetting as Izuku's like looking at her like that's supposed to be a centuries old demon. Honestly, if I'm being honest, I prefer that. He would just kind of say to himself as he watches Daki just like spin around eating. Get back to, Bakugo and the Baku squad. It's like, Denki's like, yeah, I'm sure he'll be better. Wait, do you think that, like, tall chick, Daki's actually pretty tall, if I'm being honest. She's a rather tall woman. Yeah. So, Denki's like, hey, do you think that tall chick's his girlfriend? Bakugo would look at him like, huh, that would make some kind of sense. It explains why she's so comfortable around him, I guess. Like, it could explain things. Like, Bakugo's just beginning to, like, steam begins pouring out of Bakugo's ears, like, he managed to get a girlfriend before me. And I thought he was a quirkless piece of shit the majority of our lives. Like, oh my goodness, I'm a horrible person. Like, Bakugo is now in a corner, in the corner of one of the stalls, curled up into a ball. Just like those classic anime dark lines on him. Like, he's dejected now. He's just in a corner, dejected, like, holy shit, I'm a terrible person. Oh my goodness, and he even got a girlfriend. He's moved on. He's moved on! Like, Bakugo's kind of crying. Aki and Susanoo would turn up with, like, some human meat shish kebabs. So would Kaigaku, who's just kind of stuffing his face. Like, really. He's just stuffing his face with as many as possible. Izuku's already explained, that Muzan replaced, Daki to Daki, so she kind of is just sharing the title of Upper Moon 6 until one of them surpasses the other. So, yeah. Kaigaku's just kind of stuffing his face as he's like, what's happening? He would just kind of look at Izuku and wave like, hey master, how you doing? Izuku would wave at Kaigaku like, good, what about you, Kaigaku? As Bakugo would look at them and like, yell, you two know each other? Susanoo and like, Aki would just kind of nod like, us too. Bakugo's just like, oh my goodness, he's gotten so much further in life than me. Like, yeah, Izuku's just having a happy conversation with, like, Kaigaku, Aki, and Susanoo as Daki's in the background with, like, Rui, Shigaraki, and Wonder Wise as she's spinning. Like, Daki's spinning, holding a bunch of human meat shish kebabs as, like, Rui, Wonder Wise, and, like, Shigaraki are holding onto her waist, using her as, like, some kind of a... You know that thing in the playground where you would run a bunch and then it would start spinning and then you would jump on it and ride it as it span? Like, they're using her as a merry-go-round. like Rui's used his threads to tape Wonder Wise and, like, Shigaraki to Daki as she's spinning whilst holding her, as she's, like, pirouetting, holding, like, a bunch of human meat shish kebabs. She's somehow even doubled the amount she has, even more so. Some of the vendors are getting concerned with how much she's eating. So she's just, like, in the background spinning as, like, Izuku and Aki and Susanoo are having, and, like, Kaigaku are having a lovely chat. Like, Mina's busy, like, going full team mode, trying to dissect the situation. Denki's being dumb. Bakugo is like, kind of a patting, but yeah, Kirishima's patting Bakugo on the back, like, whilst he's in the corner crying, as like, yeah. So, yeah. I know I didn't really get that much out in this video, that much, story, but I think it was just a nice little setup slash bonding episode, characters getting closer, plot points being set up. Yeah, just also future character development being set up. So, yeah, this part is like that one point between arcs in a story where things aren't that eventful, but things begin getting revealed and you start seeing characters bonding and stuff like that. So, yeah. Anyway, goodbye, my lovely, lovely audience. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope to see you next time. Bye-bye! This was fun.